Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Monica. I like to post anti-MLM life and some true crime content here on this channel. So if any of that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around. In today's video, I am bringing you anti-MLM content. So of course, just as a disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and just my opinions. Hey guys, Editing Monica here. I also wanted to quickly say thank you so much to the username chronically_bqueenb for becoming a channel member. It truly means a lot to me, and thank you so much to everyone else who watches my videos for free, because obviously I love all of you. So thank you so much for becoming a channel member. Today we're going to be chatting about some Beachbody coaches and some Monat reps. The reason why is because I had a few of you send me some footage to react to, and I started cracking up when one of you sent me this one Monat rep. You sent me something via Instagram, and for me it said post unavailable, so I responded back to you and I said, well, is it a private Instagram because I can't see it? Well, sure. This rep blocked me. I don't know who this person is. I kind of looked at her Instagram because I have other Instagram accounts for business related things, photography, all that kind of stuff. So I went on one of my other accounts and I kind of looked through her account to see maybe her upline is someone, the person that I've mentioned multiple times. Maybe her upline was the person that I used to be friends with, but I couldn't find that. But she is from the New York, New Jersey area, so maybe she found me somehow that way, or the person that sent me it suggested that it could possibly be that maybe someone saw one of my videos and told people to block me, which is funny because I have other accounts that I can look at you from, but whatever. But anyway, so I found that really funny, and I felt like I finally made it, that because a rep decided to block me, but I feel like I finally made it being blocked by a random rep that I don't know who they are. So we'll be reacting to her today, but we're also going to be reacting to some Beachbody stuff as well. Let's go over the Beachbody stuff first, and then we'll get into Monat. But this one thing, I'm going to post it up on the screen, but this one thing, it's a Superstar Diamond Retreat, and it's supposed to be from September 10th to 13th. At the time of filming this, it is September 10th, but I've been trying to schedule some of my videos ahead of time, so this is going to be after the fact, but I still want to chat about it. So it says that on Thursday, today, 6 o'clock, arrive at the house, 7 o'clock is happy hour on the beach. So they're trying to make this look like this is fun, and this is, you're just going to this retreat and it's gonna be a little bit of training, but it's also gonna be a vacation at the same time. Friday, 9 o'clock, training with whoever this person is. 10 o'clock, corporate training. 11:30, private bar workout with another person. 12:30 to 5, beach time. 6 to 7, dinner in while getting ready. 7 to 9, photos with another person. Saturday, lazy wake up, then workout, breakfast at house. 10 to 11, guest training. 12 to 5, beach sesh. 6:30, private chef at the house, and the fun continues. This is just a way to get you to get hyped up and to want to become part of this, so that you can also become a superstar diamond and be able to go to these retreats. When I was in Beachbody, they did have these little mini retreats, and it was just a bunch of people that were from the team that were meeting up together. But guess what? It's not all expenses paid. You have to pay for this. And then there was another time when I was in Mary Kay. Remember how I've talked about multiple times how I went to that one convention and it was just a bunch of fluff. There were no tools to success or how to build your business or anything like that. So with that one, that also was not all expenses paid. So I had to pay for my portion of the hotel room. I had to pay for any kind of food that I wanted to get. So of course, it's not all expenses paid. So when I talk about, a lot of people who are pro MLM will come at me and be like, what are you talking about expenses? What are you talking about all this other stuff? I don't have to hold inventory. I don't have to hold a PV. Social media is free, and blah, 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 blah. But when you go to these retreats, when you go to these conventions, it is not all expenses paid. And when you go to a retreat like this, when it's not part of Summit, and if you're not one of the top coaches, some people will get their, if you're Beachbody, some people will get their Summit ticket for free, which is the Beachbody convention, but you still have to pay for your airfare. You still have to pay for your hotel. And of course, a lot of the places that you're gonna go to, they're probably gonna know that it's the Beachbody convention, and prices are probably gonna go up. With where we live, this is a tourist area, so we know where to go when it's more of a local area if we're looking for food. But if you go right down the street to where all the tourists are, it is expensive. It is expensive. And they do that for a reason. It's all a marketing tactic. But I wanted to go over that because I found that kind of interesting. Maybe you guys don't, but I think that it's a lot of it is just a way to get you to sign up. This is just a way for you to see it and be like, well, all of these other girls, they're superstar diamonds and they're able to go to this retreat. I want to be able to go to something like this. I want to be able to sit on the beach with my group of girls. I want to be able to do all of this. So it's just a way to try to get you to join, because to be completely honest, this retreat, posting something like this, there is no reason to post the schedule on your public Insta stories. This is something that when I was part of Beachbody, this is something that they talked about in the private Facebook group that we had. And if they wanted to post pictures of them with their group of girls with their downline, then they would do that, but they would never post the schedule up on their Insta stories. But I mean, at the same time, this was several years, well, not several, this was a few years ago. So maybe social media has changed a little bit since then. Now we're going to move on to the Beachbody coach that I wanted to react to, because y'all know how much I hate when these MLM reps consider themselves influencers, and the fact that they talk about being a mentor and mentorships, because they make it sound like we're here for you. This is a sisterhood. It's not that they care about mentoring you. They just want you part of their downline because they want to make a commission off of you. It has nothing to do with actually genuinely caring about you, because we see this all the time where you join an MLM, when you leave, more times than not, not all the time, because I did have on a previous Beachbody video, one of you had commented that Deanna Mims was your upline, and you said that you're still friends with her, which that is very, very few and far between. But I can see someone like Deanna being friends with someone regardless of if they're in an MLM or not, just from talking to her and from seeing her on YouTube and everything. But this is very few and far between that they will stay friends with you. A lot of times, I've heard horror stories of when people leave that they get bullied, they get harassed. They find out that as soon as they get kicked out of these private groups, sometimes your uplines talk about you behind your back. And I find that so petty and so catty, but that is besides the point. Let's get into it.
Actually, I have less time than I normally do. I don't know, yesterday was a total show. But I'm catching up today. I have some childcare this morning, so I'm going to crush out some work. Hannah and I are running a sneak peek into coaching, which is always my favorite. We are adding 10 new women into our September mentorship, which is just on freaking fire and amazing and incredible. So that's happening. I just got to do some of that this morning. And then last night I got to train our...
So she's talking about the mentorship. Of course, I already mentioned that before. We've seen a lot of MLM reps. If you watch a lot of the MLM reaction videos or anti-MLM reaction videos, a lot of them are starting to talk about this whole mentorship. And they're starting to make it seem more, just like I said before, they're trying to seem more genuine. And she talked about this sneak peek into coaching. It's just a way for them to, because they'll tell you in the beginning that you get paid for the amount of work that you put into it. You have to work for this. Or they'll say that it's so easy because they want you to sign up. And this sneak peek into coaching, most likely, since it is a sneak peek, it's not a full version of what a coach does in a day or what a Beachbody MLM rep, because of course we all know that them calling themselves coaches is just bad. But the thing that really gets to me is that they give this sneak peek, but I think it shouldn't just be a sneak peek. I think you should really, truly talk to these people who want to become part of your team and tell them up front what their job entails. Because when maybe it's not the same for everyone, but when I was working my 9-to-5 jobs, we're going to use this as an example. When I went into my interview, they let me know my one job, the one, she was kind of my supervisor in a sense. She didn't have the title, but basically she was my supervisor. We'll just call her my supervisor. And she told me in the interview, are you sure that you're ready for this? Because this is a fast-paced environment. You need to learn really fast. We're not looking for someone to just sit behind a desk. We need someone who is going to be able to do this job and do it properly. And she laid out exactly what I would be doing, what they would expect from me. And I think it might have been a little bit of like an intimidation thing, but I wasn't intimidated by it because I'm a very hard worker. So for me, that kind of work ethic is normal. But for some people, they think when they hear you say, do you want to work from your phone? They think of it as, I just check my phone every couple of hours. They don't think of this as, this is another full-time job. Being an MLM rep is not easy. Being an MLM rep is not just working from your phone for a couple of hours a day. Being an MLM rep is a full-time job, whether these reps want to tell you that or not.
I got to train our entire crew of new coaches. So I'm leading a new coach training. We're adding to our new coach mentorship, and we are all settling into whatever. If you have ever been like, what do they do? Like, how do they make money as health and fitness coaches and online influencers? Like, what's happening? You got to get in this group. We share all of the things. We talk about where we started, what this has looked like for us, how this has changed our lives, what's happening with our 2020 new coaches and the ridiculous amount of crushing of life that's happening, and what this could look like for you. So if you've ever been like, what do they do and why not me? Like, you need to message me. I will get you in this group. It's a game changer.
It's a game changer. Yeah, it's a game changer because you don't tell your people how much they're actually going to work. It's a game changer because you make it seem like it's so easy. And Alonda over at the Recovering Humbot just made a video about this, and I already talked about this in previous videos of mine, but she made a video talking about how Carl Deichler himself said that since the pandemic, they have signed up over 200,000 coaches. Since the pandemic, since it started, I mean, not since the pandemic started, but since everyone started getting let go from their jobs, since quarantine, since people had to start staying at home, that's how many coaches they have signed up. So for them to say, oh, we signed up X amount of people and we're changing lives, but what happens, hypothetically, let's say that they signed up every single person on the face of this planet. What then? Who are you going to sell to? Who are you going to recruit? Because at that point, you've already recruited everybody. And the way that these MLM reps make the MLM industry out to be is that this is the best industry to get into. This is the best job in the entire world. Every other job sucks. Every other 9 to 5, it sucks. It's the worst job. But what happens? Again, hypothetically, let's say that they do recruit a bunch of people. I've said this in previous videos. You need a mechanic to fix your car. You need one of those. And for you to get to all of these trips, you need pilots, you need engineers, you need people that know how to build a plane and how to get a plane safely from point A to point B. You need people working in the hotel that you're going to check into. You need people working at corporate of Beachbody in order to get this convention and this event off the ground. So these reps and these coaches, they make it out to be like MLM is the only way to go. That this is the only industry that's making X amount of money and it's the best industry to get into. But you need all of these other people. And you need, for example, even if you look at the super trainers, I mean, I haven't looked into, let's say, Autumn Calabrese, for example. I haven't looked into her background, but I'm pretty sure in order for her to make these plans, she has to have some kind of education behind that. Some kind of education, I would hope. I might be wrong. But you need all of these people. Carl Deichler, he's working at the corporate office. He's the CEO. Do you think that he's out there recruiting coaches? Do you think he's out there doing that? I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. So for them to, I know that I kind of went off on a tangent, but this is something that I want to drill into people's heads, that you can't just recruit everybody in the entire world, because you need people in other industries. We need doctors. We need nurses. And which brings me to the next rep, the monat rep that I talked about that blocked me, because it was one of those Instagram reel things. So it's like Instagram's version of TikTok. And I'm also, because I don't want to get copyrighted or copyright claimed or whatever, so I'm going to have to put different music in there. So, I mean, you don't really need to know the real music that's in there. It doesn't really matter because she puts text up on the screen anyway. Let's get into this because, of course, she has scrubs on. She started with, almost 2 years ago, I ditched the overworked, underpaid hospital life to pursue my online beauty business. So she said how a lot of her friends thought that she was crazy. Then this next part, it says, I worked really hard. Now I run a multi-million-dollar team, get to work from my phone or laptop anywhere in the world, and I absolutely love it. So let's say that the reason why she's saying this is to kind of appeal to people that want to travel and want to be able to work from wherever they're at. Last time I checked, when I travel, when I go on vacation, I don't have to continue to work my biz. I can go on vacation and enjoy my vacation. Let's just read the caption real quick. Just when I thought my work clothes couldn't get any more comfy, almost 2 years since I traded in the scrubs for PJs and became my own boss. People thought I was crazy, but today I'm happier, more financially stable, and have more freedom than I ever could have imagined possible. See, that to me is really sad because we need nurses. We need people working in these hospitals. And for her to go from a nurse to a shampoo saleswoman. There's some more, so let's get into a few more of these things that were sent to me. There was one reel that talked about how she's been able to grow her hair, and of course she shows all of the monat products. She talks about how you use less heat, less styling, all of that. Those are, besides the monat part, those are normal things, to use less heat, less styling, because whenever I use that, that's what I've been trying to not do, is to not use heat on my hair. Because I'm trying to kind of, since I color it a lot, I'm trying to just kind of give it a little bit of a break. But of course, those are things. And also, if you're going to take vitamins, if you're going to take something like biotin or something like that, these are normal things that you do with hair. And of course, some people they have really great genetics and they're born with great hair. My future sister-in-law, she has beautiful, beautiful long hair that is just amazing. I could never grow my hair out that long because my hair just breaks off. As soon as it gets down to where it is right now, this is probably the longest that it'll ever get without extensions. And it's just genetics. That's how it's been for my entire life. My entire life, my hair has never been any longer than this unless I had extensions in my hair. So, of course, some people are just born with really nice hair. And I noticed that a lot of these Monat reps, they have really pretty hair to begin with. But what kind of bothers me is that they go on to say that, oh, well, Monat made my hair so pretty. No, it didn't. You always had really pretty hair. And if it was damaged before, and then you say that you stopped putting bleach in it and you stopped using heat, duh, of course it's gonna look better. That's common sense. It doesn't take rocket science to know that. So that's something I wanted to mention. And also the whole using Monat products. There are other products out there that you can use because she talks about deep conditioning and all of that. I'm not an expert, so if you want to talk to some of your friends who went to cosmetology school, or if you want to talk to your hairstylist, ask them these questions. They spent the time and money to go to school for a reason. But to add to that, if your hairstylist shills Monat, run for the hills, please. I would not let that stuff touch my hair after all of this other stuff that has gone on with Monat. But the next thing that we're going to get into about this rep is a luxury car. So, yeah. The caption says, "What they don't tell you, watching your team earn their free Cadillacs actually makes you happier than getting your own." I wonder if maybe it makes you happier because that means that these reps are ranking higher in the company, which in turn means that you're making the commission off of them. I wonder if that has anything to do with it, that you're actually making more money off of them and you don't have to pay for their Cadillacs. The company gives them this bonus as long as they hit rank every single month. So I wonder if maybe that has something to do with it, or I wonder if maybe, just maybe, it makes you happy because of the fact that they can put this Cadillac on their Instagram. You can put these Cadillacs on your Instagram and make this look like this is a luxury lifestyle. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. I don't think you're genuinely happy. I think it just has to do with that. And I'm sorry that I'm going so hard on this rep today, but I just find it hilarious that she blocked me. The funny part is that the real caption of this, it said, "Dreaming of earning your own free caddy." How many times do we have to tell these reps that these caddies, these Cadillacs, are not free? If you don't hit your rank, you have to pay for that. These cars are in your name. These are not in the company's name. If something happens to Monat, for example, let's say that tomorrow they shut down. You are stuck with that car payment. That car doesn't go back to Monat. You're stuck with that. If you have a lease, because it is a lease, if you have a lease on that car, you're stuck with that lease until you're done. So, is it really free? Because everything is in your name. Do I have to say that? And every single time that I have to react to these reps that have these cars and they call them free, they are not free. I made an entire video where I debunked this, and I also went into the policies and procedures for Monat's car program, the car incentive program. So in there, it says that if you don't hit rank, you don't get that bonus, and it has to be taken out in your name. So please explain to me how that is a free card. But that is what I had for you guys today. I have a few more because someone sent me a ton of these behind the scene calls and behind the scene type training things that I want to react to. And the one had to do with an Arbonne rep who I listened to it last night. I didn't watch the whole entire thing. I listened to the first few minutes, and it said that they were part of Arbonne for 18 years. Or that they have been part of Arbonne for 18 years. 18 motherfucking years. That is a long, long time to be part of this company. And that's why I wanted to chat about it in my next reaction video, because she went on to say, now I know that I'm kind of spoiling it, but it's just to kind of let you guys know what's coming up next. But in that video, she talked about how this business of hers, how it's basically a revolving door. Because she said that if you look at pictures from when she first started, that you would be lucky to see, I think she said 2 or 3 people from her old team and her team now. Having a revolving door of employees is not a good sign. It's not that they didn't stay consistent. Let me just tell you, I only watched about 10-15 minutes of this particular call, and in that 10 or 15 minutes, the only thing that I really got from it was that she's been in Arbonne for 18 years and that you have to stay consistent. Maybe there's some more things that maybe I was just tired and I didn't hear all the other things, but that's something that I want to react to, because this is a high-ranking person, and a lot of times these high-ranking people, they don't have tools to success. They just contradict themselves. All they're doing is they're just coming on and they're talking to you in these Zoom calls, in these Zoom meetings, and they're just trying to be this motivational person. They sit there and they tell you that, well, if you're not doing well, you just have to stay consistent. Don't give up. Are you reading your personal development? Because let's not forget that when you join these MLMs, you're not a good person. You're only a good person after you start reading this personal development. And in a recent video, I heard Alonda over at the Recovering Humbot say it perfectly, that this is just a distraction. And I do think that there is a time and place for personal development books, for self-help books. I do think that there is a time and place for those, because some people, it does help them. But the fact that there's such a large emphasis in these MLM companies on personal development and on self-help books, because they don't think that you're a good person when you join these things. Because why else would they say, we're going to make you into the best version of yourself? Why? They always say that. We're going to make you into the best version of yourself. So are you saying that they weren't good people before? Please explain that to me, because I would love to know what these reps think about that. And if you don't read personal development, that has nothing to do with your business. Do you have to have a certain kind of outlook and a certain kind of mindset? Yes. And I've said this before in other videos. I'm all for following your dreams, but I'm not for following your delusions, because there comes a point in time where you might have a dream, but maybe there's something where it's just not working out. Maybe you decided to start a small business and it's just not working out, and you have to come to terms with that before you lose more money. It's just like when you work a 9-to-5. People quit their 9-to-5s to go ahead and go to another company because it has better benefits, it has better pay. Maybe they're going from being in a starting position to now they're going to be hired as a supervisor, as a manager, or something of that nature. So it's normal for people to jump from job to job. It's normal. So when these reps say, oh, well, they left because they weren't consistent, they didn't work hard enough, they aren't a boss babe. No, you're allowed to leave companies. You're allowed to leave and go to bigger and better things. Some of these reps jump from MLM to MLM. Yes, that's true. But if something isn't working for you, you need to leave. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you have to read a personal development book in order to succeed. That to me just, it makes no sense. So I'm sorry, I have gone off on a tangent. I have rambled a little bit, but I just, sometimes, y'all know, I just start talking and it just doesn't stop. So I have to kind of channel back and stop myself. But anyway, if you have watched up to here, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next time. This is Monica reporting to you live from a highway. Bye.